Today we bring to the spotlight and celebrate the unique contribution of indigenous peoples, a population of approximately 500 million, spread across 90 countries, and appreciate their immense contribution to the diverse mosaic of our world. We also recognize the specific challenges facing indigenous communities and recommit to working together to support and empower them. This year, under the theme Protecting the Rights of Indigenous Peoples in Voluntary Isolation and Initial Contact, we recognize the even more specific challenges inherent to indigenous peoples who have elected to limit their contact with the rest of the world. This is oftentimes out of necessity, resulting from their vulnerabilities and the risk of contact, including diseases they are not immunized against. Friends, our world's indigenous peoples are a veritable fount of knowledge and history. They carry with them thousands of languages, representing thousands of cultures, encompassing everything from music and art to history, science, and medicine. And this is true here too. 10% of the population of Guyana is indigenous. The 9 indigenous groups dispersed throughout Guyana are an integral part of the country's richness and diversity. They are not only custodians, but also experts of the country's rich and complex ecosystems and biodiversity, serving as stewards of Guyana's vast, intact forests, helping authorities monitor activities, be it in logging or mining. While they play an important role in our societies, indigenous peoples, particularly those in isolation, face immense challenges. Their strict dependency on their ecological environment renders them vulnerable to changes in their habitat, which are oftentimes in conflict with economic and social development from society at large. Climate change, environmental degradation, and unsustainable resource extraction threaten their lives, human rights, homelands, and livelihoods. Indigenous peoples living in voluntary isolation and initial contact are even more at risk of being overlooked and invisible to their own governments. The result is a loss of young people due to outward migration, higher mortality and morbidity due to common and manageable illnesses, and gaps in access to even the most basic services such as education and healthcare. In other instances, they face consistent infringement upon their own lands and rights, eroding their cultures, livelihoods, and safety nets. Colleagues, dear friends, that is precisely why commemorations such as this are so important, and why the General Assembly in 1994 designated the 9th of August as a day to recognize our indigenous peoples. It is a chance to pull back the curtain and to shed light on the challenges facing people in indigenous communities, and to protect their inherent rights, especially their rights to their lands, territories, and resources, and to promote their development in accordance with their aspirations, needs, and traditions.